Hey, Ken, what was the ruling on the immigration one?
They apparently say that there was a 20-year-old deported to El Salvador who apparently came here as an unaccompanied minor. That this judge says you got to facilitate the return.
Okay, so he's never coming back. He's probably,
we don't know where El Salvador is.
Yes. I never even heard of it. You know what's interesting, though? You and I still, Ken, we're like, okay, so let's just say, because let's break down a few people to say that they didn't send people there that they should have would be a lie. Okay, so the gay hairdresser, he should not be there. And he shouldn't be there, even if he's here illegally. He shouldn't be there in jail.
Not in a prison.
No. The soccer player from Venezuela who did nothing in El Salvador shouldn't be there in jail. I mean, no. So there are some questions about some of these things, and I get that people are like, no, get rid of everybody. Well, there's due process for a reason, and you do things for a reason because you measure once, twice, 3 times, 4 times if you can. So you cut once, and there's none of this stuff. And you're not spending all day in court fighting over stuff, which at times is ridiculous. So now there's a 20-year-old. How long was he here? Do we know? Did he have orders to be removed, or did he have a happy face tattoo?
That I don't know yet. I just saw the headline, man. So, yeah, I mean, the only thing I can think of is what the Trump administration is leaning on is this designating MS-13 as a foreign terrorist organization.
Well, you should at least have to be in it.
Well, and that's the thing. Now, they're claiming with Abrego Garcia that a judge did determine that he was MS-13. So that means, he is a gang member, according to the Trump administration. But like we've said, either way, yes, he should be deported. He is illegal. He is illegally here. However, did he deserve to go to that prison? That's the thing.
Yeah,
I mean, okay, let him off in El Salvador. Definitely. Send him back to his home country.
But putting somebody there and going, all right, no due process there, and we're knowing this is going to happen. See, that's the other thing, guys. If you just let them off there and you didn't know what was going to happen, well, then, and they get picked up, that's one thing. We know they're going to that prison.
Right.
Because we've locked them up and we've sent them there and we understand. So it's about doing something right. And I know that pisses a lot of people off because everybody's like, just throw everybody out of here. No, you can't do that. You do it right, the right way.
It's what makes the United States unique.
Exactly.
Is we have, it's in our Constitution.
Yeah.
Due process. And, I agree with you. We should be doing this right. And what is happening with all these judges filing? That maybe they are activist judges, but it's what our forefathers set up. This is how this country is set up.
And if they rule with you, and you know this, Ken, if they give me the ruling I like, well, that's what we wanted. If they didn't, well, then they're activist judges.
And that's
both sides use this, and both sides pick the judges they want.
Absolutely.
And for those of you guys don't know, I hate to break the news to some of you, a vast majority of the judges over the last several years include mostly Trump judges, but they're still going to pick the ones they want. That's the reason that Trump flies everybody down to, or has them fly him down to Louisiana, because they know there are judges there that are going to give him the win he wants in this situation.
Is that the Fifth Circuit?
I think it is.
Yeah.
So it's judge shopping, and they judge shop for everything. It could be a parking ticket. If it's a federal offense, somebody will judge shop for it, which is frustrating. But this is what you said is so right. It's what separates us from everybody else. Treating people, whether people want to believe it or not, with due process. And like I say with the Embraco cat, you know what they should do? Fine, we're bringing him home. We talk to him. Fly him. The minute he gets off the plane, you take him into custody. You take him right over to the courthouse. You have another hearing. You put him on another plane and send him somewhere else. Watching the Democrats go, aw. I'd pay for that.
And evidence has come out about Abrego Garcia that it indicates he is definitely a member of MS-13.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he had done anything to deserve to go to that prison.
No. And he's not coming back. And if he is, he's going to be here for a very limited time.
Yeah. And I mean, and here's the thing. If it's illegal to be a gang member in El Salvador and El Salvador says he's a gang member, then okay, well, he goes to some prison because he is in El Salvador now.
Yeah, he's there. And they're not. And we can't look. And this is the thing, as I try to tell my friends on the left, we can't compel them to give him to us. He's an El Salvadorian citizen.
Right.
So they can do whatever they want with him. The Venezuelans, I kind of have an issue with because I'm like, they didn't do anything in El Salvador. So that's a little, that's a little odd, but whatever. Do you think should we make the Crips a terrorist organization?
And make them stay in Compton.
They're all over, man.
They're all over, dude. Whenever I was a reporter in Tulsa, I was overnight in the 90s. The Crips and Bloods started landing in they were landing in St. Louis and Kansas City, and then they were spreading out from there. And I mean, man, my first overnight year reporting there in Tulsa, I went, of the 70 homicides that year, I went to 40 of them. And I mean, they were all gangbangers. It's, as a kid growing up, where I went to school, they fixed it so all of the schools would only have the gangs that were aligned with one another. So you didn't have Crips and Bloods in the same school. Mm-hmm. You didn't have the West Sides and the East Sides in the same school. So whoever aligned, so like, the Latin gangs that would align with the Crips, they were there, and the Bloods over here with these guys over. It was crazy. Oh, it was, man. I remember one homicide. I'll never forget this. Now, this was not overnight. This happened on a clear, blue sky, sunny Sunday at lunchtime, right after church. Homicide. These Bloods apparently took a Crip, shot him in the head, let him out in an affluent neighborhood in an intersection at like 12:30 on a Sunday afternoon. This dude is laying in the street. Detectives didn't cover him up because I don't think the detectives covered him up because they wanted the media to show it. They didn't show what I saw, which was blood running from this guy's head down into the storm drain.
Man.
And then his pager starts going off.
Pager, that's how old that is.
And a detective goes over.
Let's explain to everybody. For you, little bit younger. We didn't have cell phones. So we had this little thing that would go on your belt, and it was called a pager. And it would beep because somebody wanted to get a hold of you. Then you had to call a service that would tell you who called for you, or some of the more trickier, cooler ones would actually have the number on there.
Yeah, that's what this one had.
Yeah, so there were three types of people: lawyers, doctors, and drug dealers.
And reporters. Yeah, and the homicide detective on the scene, he looks over at me and he says, "Here's our first clue."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. I mean, Tulsa was...
How bad? Like, because I remember, was it the 90s? They had that Bangin' in Little Rock. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
On HBO?
Oh, yeah.
All those Crips and Bloods and the explosion of those. And then, have you guys noticed over the last, 20 years, things slowly went away. And you know why? Cartels came in. Yeah. And the cartels came in and basically killed the ones who wouldn't participate and pay attention. Because, if you're in a gang and you've got a street here and a street there and you kind of run and these guys, this is a totally different world. And they came in and basically said, we'll eliminate all of you. And notice how it kind of got quiet because, they realized, okay, we've kind of met our match in this situation.
Well, and they say, my friends who are back in Tulsa, say that everything kind of quieted down. But then in like the mid to late, the early 2000s, it kind of came back, and police were saying it's because some of the guys they had put in prison were now getting out again.
Oh, yeah.
And trying to, reassert control of certain drug trade and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, you come out too. Some of these people come out and they think, well, I'm going to try to get my life straight. And then they come out and then after several months of never getting a job because they're felons or they got some on the record, they feel like they're desperate. And the other side of it is, dude, you know this as much, Matt. Prisons, they're not for rehab. And these guys go to jail and they go to prison and it's a finishing school, like some people said, for gangsters.
Yeah. Well, and some of the capos, if you will, are actually in there running things.
Shot callers. Are you a shot caller? No, I'm not. No. What's that movie? There's a movie that came out a few years ago that was called, I think it was called Shot Caller. And it was about a guy who goes to prison. He's drunk one night. He gets into an accident. He's like out on a double date with his wife. He's just a normal dude. He goes to prison. And he goes from being like the normal nerdy guy to he's a shot caller. He gets out of prison and he's all inked up. He's a badass and it's a finishing school. It is.